Hey guys, Ricardo here and welcome to another blog tech tips. In today's tutorial guys, I like to show you how to deal with a situation where of course with your AirPods for ANC or other similar devices that has ANC, where of course and of course in my case it's happening with my AirPods for ANC. So of course let me use that as the example. So in terms of the left buds, there is a pop-in sound and it's just detecting. So there's a, or should I say the right bud, not the left. And it's always the right bud where there's a pop-in sound coming from, or I call it a clipping sound, coming from the right earbud. So you hear a clipping sound or pop-in sound from the right earbud. And I'm going to show you how to deal with that or how to fix it and explain what's going on. All right, so the clipping sound tends to start, for example, if you were to turn your head rapidly or turn your head in general motion, you'll start to hear that clipping sound. So there's a clipping or popping sound that you'll hear coming from the right earbud. It's very distinct and it tends to go away after a while. So you'll hear it for a little while and then it will just simply go away. Unless you start like moving your head, you might hear it a few other times or so on. All right. So if you're having or hearing that particular sound, this is what you can do to fix it. So it seems to be related to the the ANC itself, which is the active noise cancelling technology. All right. So it tends to be a bug. So some people have actually returned their device because of this and gotten a totally new device. And they say, for example, in those cases, it has solved the problem. But of course, it seems to be a widespread problem, and it might be in a case that it might be interference of something in your natural environment. It can be a router, microwave, or something that's triggering it. So it might be specific to something around your environment that's actually triggering that effect. All right. If it's something you can't live with, then of course you may want to carry it in. Otherwise, you're gonna go into settings. Make sure you're in the main settings. You're gonna go to Bluetooth. So my Bluetooth is on. You're gonna search for your AirPods. You're gonna tap the information screen here, and as you can see here, you're gonna be in this screen. And what you want to do is, if noise cancelling is on, mine is not outside of the case now, so it won't work. So if noise cancelling is on, go ahead and turn off noise cancelling. All right. And if also the other features such as all right, so to take them out of their case. So if noise cancelling, if noise cancelling is on, turn it off. That tends to, especially if you constantly leave it on, only turn it on when you need it, but whenever it's on, it's going to trigger that sound. So once it's off, it will stop. Also, let me go to the control center here. These haven't connected. Let me make them connect. All right, so they do detect when they're in my ear. So of course I'm going to tap here, and this is control center. This one, if spatial audio is on, turn that off as well. It can actually cause it as well. And of course, you do need to use these features. So if you're not going to return them because of a simple issue like that, especially seeing you might happen again with a second, third pair or so on. So Apple definitely needs to work on that. It seems to be a multifaceted problem. So the technical aspect of it, they'd have to actually look into it, see if it's environmental or something in the environment causing it, or they'll have to also check to see if it's actually a bug. Seems it could be a mechanism within the device itself that's winding up for the active noise cancelling or for the spatial audio. So of course they'll need to look into that. So what I find is that's not a big enough deal to actually return them. So what I find is that it's best to simply turn off the active noise cancelling until you need it. So don't turn it on like for everything, and only turn it on when you need it, and especially for the spatial audio as well. So if you do that, otherwise the clipping does disappear after a while. And if anybody else have another solution, especially if this has been from generation to generation, because people with the pros have also noted this issue as well. So in my case, I'm not going to return mine. It's just a little bug and it probably never will be fixed. Maybe if you switch to another peer, you might not hear it and it might just eventually come back. So it doesn't really matter. All right. So it's something can be worked around until they figure out how to fix this with a hardware upgrade or a software upgrade. All right. So share your experience below in the comments and see you in the next one, guys. Bye.